All right, everybody, welcome into episode 4 of 1-2 Review. If you're new to the show, we review movies. It's me, Luke, Alex, and Brandon. We're 3 funny boys who grew up together, and we review movies based on a 1 or 2 scale. 1 if we didn't like it, 2 if we did. We review movies until we get to 20 points, and then we call it a day. All right, kick the intro. 1, 2,
Thanks.
All right, guys, for this episode, keep your fingers out of your mouth, please.
I'll try. Thanks, Luke. I was really excited about this week's episode. I'm excited to talk to you guys. But first, I do want to talk about a few things. I know we tried calling earlier. There was some trouble getting in and out of your neighborhood. I guess the police had blocked it off, or what was going on earlier?
All right, so we all remember the gigantic granite abacus that we were counting points on last episode, right?
Thanks to our Patreon donors. Yes, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you guys. But we had an issue. It became like this kind of neighborhood thing. Kids were coming around playing with it and helping me reset it because it took, 6 hours to reset all the stones. And this kid, totally unsupervised, 17-year-old kind of.
We have a lot of kids in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family neighborhood, and this kid, he broke his wrist. The stone rolled over his hand and it broke his wrist. So the cops came by, EMT, all that shit, and they shut it down. They taped it off with the police line, do not cross. And now the homeowners association wants me to have a training course before anyone touches the giant abacus. So
yeah, apparently you need a license to operate an abacus that big. I guess the license itself isn't difficult, but it's the specific classification of the license because the abacus is so big. Okay,
so it's a Class D mathematician's license, and it actually, when I look at it, it's just an online training course. It's $123 for a video and a test. So if anyone wants to use it, we got to take a video and a test, and they got to have their cert registered with the police office, police station.
Yeah, basically we just can't have kids touching anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of a process though to get kids. Yeah, it's just a big hassle. You have to actually record the kid holding up a newspaper with today's date saying this is who I am, I'm okay with this, and just to verify that nothing strange is going on.
It's a very antiquated way of doing it. And I mean,
well, that's what you get for using an abacus, am I right?
True.
Let alone a giant abacus. But
yeah, I guess I opened that whole basket there of antiquated ways.
So the abacus is out of order this week, unfortunately. So have you figured out a new method of keeping score this week?
Yeah. I've got 2 jars, and I'm just going to they're jars of water, and I'm just going to put droplets of food coloring in each jar. And I haven't really worked it out. No, actually, I think I figured it out. I'm going to put 20 here. I'm putting 20 droplets in this one jar. And then once the other jar matches it, then we've got our score.
That's a great idea.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Once it matches it or it gets darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so this week, here we go.
All right, cool, guys. The first movie we're going to do this week, I liked a lot. I loved this movie. I don't know how you guys felt about it since we haven't really talked about it, but it was The Pond. The Pond is it's a horror movie about a family that moves into a house, and there's a little pond in the back, and the pond is inhabited by some terrible harpies. I really loved it. I'm a big horror movie fan. This has all the tropes that you need. It's got the family, the new house, the slowly building scary stuff, and then some great monster stuff at the end with the harpies. I don't know. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I'd love to. Alex, do you want to take us out and explain what harpies are?
Yeah, it sounds like
sure.
Like you're saying herpes.
Herpes.
So
no, they're harpies. So, I mean, you saw it. They're like bird ladies, kind of, and they're originally from Greek mythology, and so that was that whole thing when there's that weird stone at the bottom of the pond. That's supposed to be like a Greek thing. That the flashback that like Israeli guy brings it over back in like the 30s or something. Either way, so it's like it's possessed by the harpies, and that's where they came from that thing. Yeah,
I loved it. It was pretty thrilling. It was action packed, kind of a throwback to like 80s kind of horror, but modernized in a way that I actually enjoyed. I cared for the harpies, which I didn't think I was. You know.
Yeah, the harpies have like this nice kind of character to them. You know, they're in a way because they're these mystical beasts. They're a lot more important. They're a lot more valuable than just this average family. You know, so I kind of am rooting for the harpies to eat the little kids, the daughter and the son.
I mean, they're all dicks too. The kids are shitty in it.
Yeah, and I really liked that they tortured the wife.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yep. I give this movie a big 2. A big 2 from me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. It was fine. Yeah, go see it.
Go see Harpies. No, The Pond. It's a 2.
Yeah. Don't get herpes. See the movie about harpies.
Whatever. Get herpes. Who cares? Just don't spread it around.
Everybody has herpes. Okay.
That's what they say. Everybody already has it. So.
So deal with it. Deal with having herpes. Go see the Harpies movie.
Deal with herpes.
And enjoy it.
Go see The Pond. Go see the Harpies. All right. So that's 6 in
six fresh drops. Drop them in. Are you doing like a different color, or they're just clear water?
It's the same color. I got clear water in one jar and then 20 drops already in the other jar.
Nice. That's very smart.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. What's next?
So I'll go ahead and introduce the second one. Did we all see this? We all had a chance to.
I think I saw this one. Which one?
Skunkle. And this is a comedy about a shabby uncle screwing up babysitting his niece and nephew.
And he's stinky. That's why he's the Skunkle. He's like a smelly guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I mean, it's pretty clear in the first scene. Like, the guy's stinky.
Spoiler alert. He stinks up the house when the parents get home. It's extra stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell the CGI, like, stink lines that come off of him. It's very apparent.
He's got cartoon stink lines the whole film.
Why don't they do that in more movies? Why don't they
I don't know. I really like
stink lines on people. It's great.
Yeah, you know, in films you often can't smell it, but with Skunkle, I really felt like I could just for the visual.
Well, that was the weirdest thing about the film. Cues. It was really big on scents. They talk about smells the whole movie, and it's weird that it's a medium where you can't smell. You know, I know back in the day they did those like scratchies. You know, you can scratch stuff, but like, but either way, it was a smell-focused film about a stinky uncle, and it's pretty wacky, pretty fun.
Yeah. Now this guy.
Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
This guy's gross in real life, but the crazy thing I heard is that he's kind of a cocksman.
What do you mean? He's a player?
He's a player, yeah. He banged pretty much everybody on set, and all the ladies loved this guy. The actor...
He's a relative newcomer. Does he actually smell in real life? I mean, apparently not, unless maybe that's part of the attraction.
Yeah, he's got terrible BO from all accounts. Jove Park, he's an attorney by practice, and he just decided to get into acting for fun, and apparently for all the pussy.
Huh. Well, more power to Jove Park.
Let's not talk about pussy in every single episode,
please.
All right, cool. I give Skunkle a 1. It was good, but yeah, I don't know. It was all right. I really like the smell lines, but besides that, I give it a 1.
Yeah. You gave it a 1? No, this movie was great. What are you talking about?
It's okay. I don't know. I didn't love it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, mediocre.
It's a little too like family wacky comedy for me.
Okay, yeah, you're one of those serious. It's true. Alex is one of those serious guys who can't just like let down his hair and have a little fun with a Skunkle. I give it a 2.
All right,
loved it. Brandon, come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a one. Number one. Number one.
All right. Yeah. Looks like it wasn't as great as you thought. So that's a 4 for Skunkle.
All
Four
right.
little drip drops.
All right, 4 drops.
Boop, 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 boop.
So Brandon, what's the big problem with talking about pussy on every episode?
It's just, you know,
Should I clean up my act or what?
just like I get Alex to stop dropping the F-bomb every word. Every other word. That's my job.
Yeah, you are kind of the mother hen. We should get a swear jar or something every time Luke mentions pussy or anytime Alex drops the F-bomb.
Yeah, sounds great. We'll be rich. Speaking of rich, let's take a word from our sponsors. Luke, you got that queued up?
Yes, I got it queued up. This week's episode is brought to you by 4hats.com. 4hats.com is introducing a new promotion where once you sign up, we send you an initial 6 hats. Over the next 2 weeks, you send back 2 and then 1 hat, leaving you with 3 hats of your choosing. That's 4hats.com, making hats simple.
Great. Yeah, I love that product. It's it sounds confusing, but it's really not bad once you get used to it. I mean, the promotions are a little strange, but
they're paying me. It's not confusing at all.
Cool. Yeah. Let's do another movie.
Yeah,
Is that what we're doing?
that's what we do.
That's what we do here. All right, y'all, line up for Dunkers. We saw a movie called Dunkers, and this was a documentary film about the best dunkers in basketball.
Basketball history. I mean, starting from the very beginning, from the very first hoops to future hoops, which we haven't seen yet. But there's a spoiler alert: CGI future dunkers.
Yeah. I knew about maybe 3 of these dunkers. I knew Michael Jordan, of course. I knew Scottie Pippen, and I knew Magic Johnson. Besides that, I didn't know any of these dunkers. Do you guys follow basketball?
No, I don't know anything about sports, so this was kind of an education for me.
Yeah, Dutch Hindi I had no idea about. Zena Mink I had no idea about. These were all people that, you know, never got to shine really because it was before television was around. So
Pele Guccini, he plays the future dunker. He's like a proposed dunker that they imagine will happen.
Yeah, and what's crazy about some of these dunkers is they don't even know how to dribble the ball. All they can do is dunk.
Because, that's the thing is, like, there's a couple of them that are actual professional basketball players that dunk in games, but then a lot of these are just professional dunkers. They don't even play. They just dunk.
they're like who you call in, you know, when you're playing 3v3, you need somebody to just straight dunk. This is who you call, you know. So they when they dunk, they know what they're doing.
And they're called baller boys, apparently. Guys that don't play basketball but are professional dunkers or whatever are baller boys. So
Yeah, and they're kind of laughed at. They're kind of laughed at by the NBA people. You know, they're these wannabes, and
but again, those bigger players, some of them identify as baller boys. Like, I didn't know that Michael Jordan did until I saw this.
Well, the thing about Mike is that he doesn't let anybody have their own thing. Remember, he played baseball because he was like, I can do that. Dunkers, he sees these dunkers. He's like, guess what? I'm a dunker too. It's a joke. And I can still crush it at being a dunker, at being a baller boy.
Yeah, once they kind of let him into the crew, the Baller Boys crew, he like took it over the top. He got like a Baller Boys tattoo, and then they were like, "Whoa, you're like really crazy. You're like taking this too far, Jordan." But he killed it. He can dribble the ball too. A lot of them can't. He can dribble and dunk. So, I mean, he's the star of the show, obviously.
Without question, you have Michael Jordan coming on your team. The crazy thing was he got that tattoo. Everybody copied him, and then he had it removed a year later. So he can afford to do that. Most of these dunkers, they live in like 1-bedroom apartments, cheap. You know,
It was sad to see some of the older dunkers in retirement not being able to dunk anymore. A lot of them are like food truck workers, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, you can't dunk forever.
Nope. But you can watch this movie many times. I give dunkers a fat 2.
I give dunkers a 2, and that I just got to say that was hilarious when that It kind of like a very a philosophical kind of moment when that Dunker's working in the food truck and he tries to throw the trash into the trash can across and he misses. It just like hits. It's like
cut to black, and it was just like 2 seconds of silence, and then the credits finally appear. It was a big moment.
Yeah. Brandon, what'd you give this movie?
I give it a 2 as well. I didn't think, I would like a sports documentary or a sports, film as much as I did, but it was pretty artful and well done.
Cool.
Well,
that's 6.
That's a well done review. 6 drops.
6 drops for Dunkers.
Yeah, can you just put some drops of water in the jar?
Boop, 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 boop.
Okay.
Great, thanks. This is normally when we would have another sponsor break, but I just wanted to actually, thank you once again for all your support on Patreon, and thank you for the abacus. We did some research, and apparently taking the online course to get the license class that we're going to need requires a little bit of money. We still have the Patreon page set up, so consider joining us and donating, and your funds will go directly towards getting this abacus license and the mathematician.
Yeah, the Class D mathematician's license. Yeah. Help us make this abacus not feel like a curse, and donate on Patreon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Brandon, serve us up another movie to review, buddy.
Yeah, this week, this is a movie I think we saw. Did we all see this one?
Yeah, we all see them all, guys. We have to see them all to review them.
I did.
You're right. I just
did
like to
see it.
confirm, make sure everybody's on board before we, delve in, okay? All right.
Brandon,
Speaking
Brandon,
of delving
did
in.
you see it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see
I
it?
saw it.
Okay.
I can confirm I saw this film.
Well, to be honest, I don't know what you're talking about until you tell us what film, but I probably saw it because I have the list that we're supposed to see.
That's true.
That's true.
So I don't know what one.
Wait for it.
All right.
Okay.
This week, we all hopefully saw Hoarders Gate.
Ah, yes, of course.
This movie was great. This was a terrifying movie about what would happen if a hoarder gets trapped inside their own home, with all their hoarding, They discover inside this prison that they've built, they've actually built a portal to another dimension of hoarding.
This movie was awesome. So it all starts with a final delivery of a pizza. And
It's too much. It's too much.
Mary May, the disgusting, flabby hoarder, eats the pizza and then stacks the final box in front of her door. And she's trapped. She has to wedge it, jam it against her door. And next time she orders a pizza, panic sets in. She can't get to the door and the pizza guy can't get to her. So she's starving and she starts digging around her house and uncovers a portal to an entire galaxy of hoarding.
Yeah, there's just simply so much space that she didn't know she had. So she's going to take up all the space. So slowly the process starts of her transferring some of the junk from her, current prison into this extra dimension.
But the extra dimension doesn't follow the rules of physics. Things multiply by themselves, things warp and grow and shrink. And she meets,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And she meets a whole community of people trapped in this world.
And together, they discuss their problems and realize what the hoarding is and why they all, crave the desire to hoard. And they overcome the emotional obstacle that was between them and happiness and overcome the hoarding addiction.
Yeah, which I thought that was great, but there was no satisfaction to it. Spoiler alert. Because they're trapped forever in this hoarder's gate. So even though they realize, even though they become mentally free of hoarding, they're still physically trapped.
Sure, physically they can't put what they've learned into practice, but mentally they've overcome that obstacle. Great. Well, anybody have anything else to add to that?
No, not really. I mean, a pretty straightforward flick.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see a sci-fi movie starring hoarders. Never would have thought that would happen.
Yep. But yeah, it didn't really rock my world too much. So I give it a 1.
Yeah, save it for a rental. I give it a 1.
Yeah, this is definitely rental material 1.
Cool. 3 for Hoarders Gate.
All right, I'm going to put 3 droppers in the counter jar.
Chip, chip, chip.
Hey, that's 4. That's too many.
Sorry, so take one back. Can you take one drop out of that one?
Yeah.
Just play. There we go.
1-2 Review is brought to you by FruitSack.net. Buying fruit in today's modern grocery stores is tough. Stores can be confusing, people can be unhelpful, and then you actually need to choose the right fruit. Well, Fruit Sacks takes all the stress of buying your family the freshest fruits away. Let us send you a sack today. More info at FruitSacks.net.
How's that jar looking?
It's looking pretty close. I can't remember how many drops I put in it.
Can you sample those water drops and like make a sick beat?
I can do that. I thought I just tasted it because I thought that's what you meant. It tastes like water.
Nice.
The food coloring doesn't add a lot of flavor.
Why'd you have an eyedropper?
What? Oh, because
You're
I
using
have
like an eyedropper.
yeah, because I have eyes, man. Don't you use an eyedropper?
I guess so.
Drop stuff into your eyes, different eye drops. It's just one of my things. I just love eye dropping.
It's just whatever. Or?
No, not whatever. Like different saline solutions from around the world, different ocean waters, Black Sea water, different lake waters.
Like builds your eye immunity, or what are you doing exactly when you put lake water into your eye?
You just experience lake water in your eye. I don't know. I can't really. I'm not going to justify it. It's just one of my things. On Fridays,
everybody has their thing.
On Fridays, I like to get those oncologist drops and dilate my eyeballs and just kind of see things a little weird. Little one of weekend unwinding things that I do.
Sounds fun. Open up your eyes.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. The next flick we saw is a kids' movie. This is called Aussie Dog. Aussie Dog is it's about a dog named Shepherd, who is an Australian dog, and he goes to China, and he's got an American sidekick with him, who is a little boy, a little white boy. Goes with him to China.
Jeff and his dog go to China. Who would have thought?
So the dog's a talking dog, and the only one that can hear him is his sidekick, Jeff, the boy. So the dog can talk and goes to China.
Yeah, this is another kids film. I'm curious why I feel like we see a lot of kids movies. And maybe we need to just start choosing different movies. But for a kids movie, I thought it was okay. It's just,
Yeah.
In our defense, we did just watch and review a movie that was exclusively shown on Pornhub. So
that's true. Diversity is key. You gotta
diversity.
see everything.
Kind of a palate cleanser too. After all this crazy movies that we watch. But let's get back into Aussie Dog. So it's kind of a quest. The kid.
Well, the dog is Australian, so he starts in Australia, and then he gets. We get to see him shipped to America, where he's adopted by Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
as a puppy still, but they grow together a little bit and they go on an adventure.
That dog was a fake dog, right? The puppy?
Yeah.
Definitely for the entire puppy stage, and a lot of the actual, them traveling, it's like puppetry.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they do that? They couldn't find an animal handler? Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. Okay.
I think it's a kids movie, kids like puppets.
Okay, this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying on the forums, that this kid the kid actor is actually terrified to death of puppies, but only puppies. So they had to use puppets. And even that on set was terrified him, and people are rumoring that they drugged the kid with Xanax.
Oh, gross.
He seems kind of out of it for the majority of the film. I just figured that's what they were going for.
He doesn't have any lines in those. those early scenes, he just nods and sort
And
of
really
stares off into space.
Glassy-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that
Terrifying.
really shines a new light onto this film.
Way to go. Way to go, Hollywood. But later in the movie, it does get better once the puppy's gone.
Yeah. And it's an actual dog for a little bit. And then it's a CG dog towards the end, right? When it's an older dog.
Yeah, we see a lot of puppetry, a lot of CGI, very little real dog. Just some voiceover, over a black screen. They couldn't come up with funding, I assume. I don't know.
But what's crazy is it did great in the box office. It made it grossed 16 million.
Well, there has been a big boom in children seeing theaters now that they've really lowered the prices back down to $2 or $3 in a lot of states. Children go to the movies now again, and that's a huge market, an untapped market. So
Yeah, it's sort of a renaissance of kids just going out and being safe in public again. Kids just go to movies now without their parents.
Yeah, granted they're, vaping and texting during the movies, but it's a different time. So.
Mm-hmm. It's the world we live in.
Yeah, we just got to fidget spin with it.
Just fidget spin along with it. I really liked the noodle eating scene where that boy, I forgot his name, but he mistakenly enters a noodle eating contest along with his dog. So he's slipping noodles under the table. He's he's got him with the chopsticks. They go down through his shirt and then down in his lap, and the dog's eating them off of his lap. Kind of gross, but
I think the noodles were all CG too.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell nowadays. Yeah, it could have been puppet noodles. I don't know.
The excuse me, the kid also has a phobia of noodles.
If they were CG, yeah.
Yeah. So they just said, just pretend like you're slurping.
Well, what'd you guys think?
I'm going to give Aussie Dog a 1. Because it's a children's movie, and I'm an adult. But I can't say it was terrible, so I'm going to give it a 1.
I can't separate myself from these rumors and just the fact that the kid was being drugged. I can't support this movie in any way, shape, or form. It's a 1.
Yeah, that's a 1. I didn't like the kid being out of it. 1 for me. 3 for Aussie Dog.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
3 drops deeper into the ocean. You guys, have you ever heard the saying, you can't boil the ocean?
What is that?
I don't know. I was wondering if you guys knew.
Is that just sort of like an allegory for just do what you can in life, do a little bit, don't try to take
Possibly.
on too much?
Yeah, I think you can only do a little bit at a time. You can't boil the whole ocean at once.
What about this one? A watched ocean never boils.
I have heard that one before, yeah. I don't know what that sounds like, but...
I made it up. So you haven't heard that one before.
Oh, no, it sounds familiar, though. What is it? It's
it's a watched ocean never boils.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I didn't.
No, I'm sorry. It's what's the sound of one
ocean?
One ocean tiding in
at low tide. What's the sound of an ocean at low tide?
What's the sound of one ocean cresting over the ocean alone?
What's the sound of one ocean lapping?
Right. So no, I'm mistaken. You're right. I've never heard your saying, but it sounds good.
I liked yours, which is what's the sound of one ocean caressing over another ocean?
In the night.
In the night.
Under clouds.
And it sounds like waves. That's the answer.
That's the answer. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that one. What else is going on? Do you guys? We haven't really talked all week, guys.
Well, the abacus thing took up a lot of my time. A lot of paperwork with the cops, dealing with lawyers. Now I've got a lawsuit against me.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Can't talk
We're in
about
this.
it.
We're in this together. I know we just started this project. We can't let this take us down.
Legally, you guys want to get involved? Seriously? Because I would love that if you took on some like financial responsibility with this. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer about that. See if I can get you guys roped in on this because this is a pain in the ass.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy. I don't want to voluntarily do it, but I'm happy to get roped in.
Well, I think legally you're obligated because you are part of the group fund or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, remember all that paperwork we signed, Alex?
Yep.
I sent you that paperwork. Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not going to worry about it until I have to.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I didn't get mine notarized at the notary.
That's great for me. That means I can just dump the whole thing in your lap. So, Alex, I think you might be having out here.
Cool.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later.
We will.
Cool. Great. Do you think we have enough drops in the dropper, or?
I think.
Do we have enough drops in the glass?
Yeah, it looks about there. I would say I'm going to call it. That's at least 20 drops. I didn't count, so I just put them in there.
What do you mean didn't count? We were doing this the whole episode. We were dropping them in. You were counting them out.
The point was he was just going to look and match the colors.
The colors. Okay. You think we're about there?
We're there, man. The colors are matching in both the jars.
Excellent.
I like this system a lot better than the abacus.
I do like the drop. It's pleasant.
Yeah, but we need to get the abacus fixed. We're gonna go to school, Luke. You're gonna get the license.
Okay.
We're gonna get it fixed.
Okay.
You're gonna push those stones every week.
Damn. All right. You got it.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
I say I've always said this, you're a great pep talker. You've got that locker room manner. Get those guys going. So got me fired up.
Great. Well, fired up for another week, and that was great. See you guys next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.